Hi, this is Stacy K from the Farmhouse in the Field. It's August, it's pretty warm, not really too much of a humid day, but today we have to do some chicken coop maintenance. Before you ever buy that fuzzy little chick, 2-day-old chick that's so cute, you really have to have the final coop ready for them. Chicks grow up from that little tiny 2-day-old chick to pretty much a full-grown chicken. Really, they're ready to go in a coop probably within 2 months. Today we have the girls out in field, what I call field trip. It's basically a couple of dog runs with a tarp over it to avoid anybody flying out of it and to avoid any hawks to get in there. But we also have put this year's new babies, the 3 biggest of the new babies, in a cage in there as well, because we have to get them acclimated to the old coop, or to the old girls, so that a new pecking order can be established and they can they can see each other without being able to hurt each other. Chickens are highly territorial, and they will kill new chickens. They will kill newcomers to the flock. So by putting them in a cage and introducing them slowly, you have a better chance of getting them acclimated to each other without too much pain and pecking and beating up. They're still going to beat up each other because they have to reestablish a pecking order every time a new bird comes in. But if you introduce them slowly, you got a better chance of somebody not dying. And they will kill a new chicken if you're not careful. But today, while they're out there and getting used to each other, we're going to start focusing on the coop. Now, this coop we built with some friends of ours that did a lot of work for it, which always kind of made me feel bad because we thought this was going to take a couple weeks, and in the end it took about 8 weeks. But this is our coop, and this was not my first coop. But this was the coop we should have built first. We built this out of a book, basically how to build your own chicken coop. And I would think at the end it cost us a pretty penny. It didn't cost us all at the same time, but it has really been probably 5 years now that we've had this coop, maybe 4 or 5, and it really has proven itself. The design is great. We have the door that needs to be taken off and painted, but the door that gives us access to our eggs. And so in the winter this can get a little hairy because it can freeze up. We've got the hook up there to hold it up, and hey, we got some eggs in there. Yesterday the girls actually had 12 eggs for me, so I had an even dozen. But we lock it so nothing can get into it at night, and the girls are safe. The other thing we've got is we've got a hole here in the fence that, I don't know if you could see that I have to fix. Well, this is actually hardware tack. It is not chicken coop wire. To be honest, chicken wire is not going to stand up, or at least in my opinion is not going to stand up to a bunch of chickens or anything that's trying to get into the chicken coop. That actually happened because I had something leaning against that and it broke the wire. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just basically take some hardware wire and cut out a piece and then thread it with some wire, thread it around to kind of make a patch. So this is the top of it. I really should go in there and get some. We'll paint the outside later. Today we're going to deal with the inside, mainly because the girls are out here. But here's our door with the run that they can come down. And here's the messy chicken coop. So the plan is we're going to get the eggs out, and then we're going to get all of the bedding out. We're going to wash this all down. And I've got some barn paint that I bought at my local Ace Hardware. And we are going to definitely paint the ground underneath here, because this is what's going to end up getting the most damage during during the year is going to be where they obviously are doing their business, walking around, throwing stuff around. And we may wash these walls, and if I got enough paint, I may actually paint the inside of these walls with the barn paint. So that is the plan. Okay, so the first step in cleaning the coop is we get our wheelbarrow over here, and we get a tool. Ironically, my favorite tool and the best tool I've ever found for this is an old lawn edger. So we're talking an old, like, 1950s, 1970s lawn edger that came with the house. And I like this because I can get right underneath it and dump it right into the wheelbarrow. And this isn't too bad, but when this gets really, really nasty, especially during the winter when it's just too darn cold to come out here and clean it, on those days where it gets warmer, this gets right underneath all the mess and it cleans it out. So that's our first step. We'll get doing this, and then we'll get to washing it, and afterwards we can get to painting it. Grandma is griping because it is too hot out here, and she would like me to do something about it. She's not real happy that it's this warm. The other girls, they're just kind of chilling. Okay, so there it is. This has been scraped. It has been scrubbed with a scrubby and Murphy oil soap. It's been wiped down. So now the whole purpose here is we're going to wait a couple hours or an hour. We want to make sure that this is completely dry before we put any kind of paint on it. It's not perfect, but you can see where the animals have already scraped the paint off from the last time I painted. The walls we may have to get another day, because the whole purpose of this is to get this cleaned up and painted, and I still got to put 2 coats on this, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do that and get the walls done before the girls get in here, because the girls have to get back in here by tonight. I also have to go to TSC because when I was there yesterday I forgot to get the girls' litter, and obviously I don't want to spend all this time painting this floor only to have the girls come in here and mess all over it. So that's the game plan. We are going to take a chill, and we will get back out here and paint this whole thing in maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. It really depends on just how much time it takes for this floor to dry. But at least we know, we can see where the damage is, and the whole purpose of this is to really protect the coop. Not so much to make it pretty, but to protect the coop. If it makes it pretty on top of that, well, that's a good thing. So that's where we are. So yeah, I actually did the walls. I have a problem with painting. I do like to do it, so once I do it, I pretty much decide to do the whole thing. So this is, the walls have 1 coat. The floor right now has 2 coats, and I got enough paint. I think I'm going to do a 3rd coat just to keep it nice and clean. So I just put a coat on. I got to wait about an hour. Still, I would say it's probably 80 degrees out, maybe 90, and it's almost 6. So I figure I can get another coat before it gets too dark to actually put litter in. But I'm running off TSC. I'll get some litter, and then we can get this project wrapped up for the inside anyway. For the outside, yeah, I didn't do so. I haven't really painted this, but I did get a lot of splotches where I shouldn't have. And painted the door. I painted the access door on the inside white, and I actually painted the outside of this door white. I do not know, well, there's a drip, I don't know if I'm going to keep this color scheme of black and red. This paint that I use, pretty much you can have it in any color as long as it's white, red, or black. So I might just go with an actual exterior paint and do something different. Maybe, I'm thinking maybe teal and dark gray, but I'm not sure yet. So that's where we stand. The paint on the outside will be another day, but the important thing is getting the paint on the inside, and did a pretty good job on that. Alrighty. Okay, so it's the next day, and as you can see, the girls are happy in their new coop. We even got an egg here. So I think this was successful. So let's get them out on the grass and we're good for another couple of years in this coop before we'll have to do this all over again.